Hi guys, welcome back to Clumsy Cakes. So today on the channel we're going to be making some Lofthouse cookies. And these cookies are pretty polarizing and a lot of people don't really care for these cookies, and I think the reason is that they're very sweet. They're the cookies that are usually found in the bakery section of your grocery store, and they're really thick, light, fluffy sugar cookies with a thick layer of frosting on top. I'm really on a mission to make more people like these cookies. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to dial down the sweetness and we're going to see what we get. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to put some shortening and some unsalted butter in the bowl of my stand mixer and paddle that smooth. I'm using a stand mixer today, but you don't have to. You can do this by hand or you can use a hand mixer. If you do use a stand mixer, however, just make sure that you stop every once in a while and scrape down the bottom and the sides of the bowl, because sometimes ingredients can get stuck on the bottom or the sides and they don't incorporate correctly. And now I'm just adding in the powdered sugar, and I'm using powdered sugar here as opposed to granulated because powdered sugar incorporates better into the batter than granulated sugar would, and that contributes to a lighter and fluffier texture. However, this is kind of a double-edged sword because powdered sugar is twice as sweet as granulated sugar. So it's gonna contribute to a little bit sweeter of a final product than you would have with granulated sugar. But knowing that, I'm just gonna dial back on the powdered sugar that I'm adding into this recipe. I'm just going to add half the amount of powdered sugar as I would if I was adding granulated sugar. For example, if you're going to add a cup of granulated sugar to something, you would add a half of a cup of powdered sugar. I'm also adding sour cream here to add to the light and airy texture. I sifted the dry ingredients in off camera, but I used some cake flour as opposed to all-purpose flour because cake flour has a lower gluten content, which will make our finished product lighter and fluffier as opposed to a little bit more dense and chewier. And I also added cornstarch for the same effect. And we also have our usual suspects, some baking powder and baking soda, and don't forget your salt. That will balance out the flavor and also combat that sweetness a little bit. After the dough has rested in the fridge for about 2 hours, you're just going to doll up little balls onto a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. And then you're going to roll this into a ball and flatten them out to be about 3 inches wide by about half of an inch thick. And then just make a little divot in the center just to prevent them from doming while they bake. While my cookies are cooling, it's time to make some frosting. So to make these less sweet, I decided to go with a 1-to-1 ratio of butter to confectioner sugar. So 1 stick of butter and 1 cup of confectioner sugar. And I will put that in my blog post. You can find the written recipe as well as all of the ingredients at www.clumsycakes.com. And I recently revamped the website, so it looks a ton better than it did. And I am so excited for you guys all to see it. I went with pink frosting just to make these as true to the store-bought version as possible, but you can go with whatever color you'd like. So I just put this into a piping bag to make the frosting on top a little bit cleaner. And then just pipe some in the center. Good thing I have more. And then you can just take a knife or offset spatula and smooth out your frosting, or if you like the way that it looks just piped, you can just leave it. This is totally up to you. And that is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave me a like down below. And let me know in the comments if you guys like these cookies or if you don't prefer them so much, and tell me why. Is it a texture thing or is it a sweetness thing? What's up? Because I absolutely adore these cookies. Don't forget to subscribe to make more messes with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!